I don't know if I really want to do an intro to this. I feel like it's kind of silly to be like, hey, hello, hi. But, I mean, hey, hello, hi. Hi. I'm going to talk a little bit about Everything Everywhere All at Once because I watched it for the second time, and it's a really good movie. This isn't going to be like a critical analysis of it because I don't have time for that, and also like everyone has talked about it in that way because it's a really good movie and like people are talking about it. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts about it because I feel like I need a place to put it out because I need to talk about this movie. It's really good. I guess it's... I don't really know how to start other than like, this movie's really good. Go watch it. Because like, you know, I feel like everything that is good about the movie has been said like a million times. Like, oh... It's you know, I guess that is one place to start. It has a very good like worldview, I suppose. And I think that's kind of cool coming from a movie that is like so silly in concept of like a multiverse movie, where it's like, oh, typically if you're watching a multiverse movie, it is like a big budget like action film that is like, oh, it's this guy, and he's gonna go fight dudes in like the multiverse. But this one is like really unique because it features like a really small scale story in comparison to like the bigger picture of the movie, which is like, oh, this person is like going to a bunch of like, you know, alternate universes where she exists. But like, no, we're gonna focus like on this story of her and her daughter, and I think that's really cool. I think that's a really good way of doing it, other like so that it actually feels like focused and like well written instead of kind of chaotic and all over the place. Like another multiverse movie that came around the same time, Doctor Strange. That movie was so bad. It was such a bad movie. I feel like Doctor Strange was like, it could have been good. It could have been really cool, especially since Sam Raimi was like, oh, hey, like, I'm doing this, and I'm going to sprinkle Sam Raimi things in here. Like, I'm going to do weird cuts, and I'm going to make it kind of scary, like, kind of horror-ish, but also, like, no one is going to develop as a character. Like, this new character that we introduced, America Chavez, who's, like, significant to the plot, she's not going to develop at all. This isn't a video about Doctor Strange, but I guess it is now. But yeah, I think that's nice. Having like a smaller scope, it just makes it feel more kind of impactful and emotional, and I feel like you can connect with the movie a lot more if it is at its core just a movie about the kind of flawed relationship between a mother and a daughter, and I think that's really cool, and that's something that a lot of people can cling on to. Also, like, I think it's just the message of like, you know, taking the grand scope of the universe and the multiverse and turning it into something that is positive is really cool, because I think a lot of times when we talk about the multiverse, it's just like, oh, we're like super insignificant and like that's scary and spooky, when in reality it isn't, and it's cool that this movie makes a point of that it's like, yes, we are like cosmically insignificant, but like that's cool because that means that there's just like so much out there, and that we can kind of be the best versions of ourselves because of that, because there are just like endless possibilities, and like you can just do whatever you want, and that's cool. I think that's really cool. Also, just like on a like a level of the movie itself, like it is just a very cool movie. It's like it is mostly like the action is great. It is mostly practical effects, which is like super cool, and like you love to see it, because like, I mean, yes, like visual effects like done in like CG and stuff are just kind of the norm, which is fine. There's a difference between like over relying on it and like utilizing it to make it like to elevate the movie, and I think that's what this movie does, which is really cool. It is used when it is necessary, and it's like used well, which is really cool, especially in a movie like this where it's like a multiverse movie, and like you would expect there to be a lot of CG used, but there isn't, which is really cool. I think that like also I mean, yeah, like it's just like overall an aesthetically cool movie. It's just good. I think honestly, if I could say anything about this movie, is that you need to go watch it. You need to not know anything about the plot. I guess I should have said that at the beginning of the video. If you haven't watched this movie, don't watch this video. Don't do it. Go watch the movie first, and then if you feel like it, watch this video. Because I think that's kind of the biggest thing is that I recommend is like, because I didn't even watch like any trailers for this movie unless they like popped up on YouTube or anything. Like I really did not know anything about this movie going into it other than, oh, it's a multiverse movie. And I'm like, okay, cool. Don't learn anything about the movie. Go and watch it blind, because you will have such a better reaction to it if you go in blind. Like, that being said though, I watched it the second time just now, and it still is just as impactful, and I felt like even more so impactful in some parts, which was really cool, just because like I was like really worried that like, oh, I'm gonna watch it for the second time and it's just not gonna hit the same. It did, and it was better in some cases, and I think that's great. Like I still bawled my eyes out like a little baby, because that's just how good this movie is. Like, go watch it. Like, please go watch it. I guess that's kind of all I have to say, is just go watch the movie. It's so good. I do kind of want to keep the video relatively spoiler free, because there was a lot of things I could just go on and on about, a lot of scenes that I could go on and on about, because like they're really good, and like there are some really funny bits in the movie as well, but I'm not going to, because I think, again, everyone has talked about, oh my god, like how well shot the movie is, and how like good emotionally it is, and how well written it is. It's like, yes, everyone has talked about that, so I just kind of wanted to ramble my thoughts on it for a little bit, you know. But yeah, go watch the movie. I like the movie. The movie's good. Thanks for watching the video. See you later. Bye.